to the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence for Chief Emeritus Robert Vandenberg. Please be seated. Everyone should have received their secretary minutes from last month's meeting. Any additions and corrections? Then I
Move
will
to
make.
accept.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report. Did everyone have a chance to review the treasurer's report and any questions? All right, then I will make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented. Do I have a second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Reading of the bills. Bear with me, guys, because we have to actually read them out this month. Voucher 1 for ADP for $126.49. Voucher 2, USA Bank for lease and copy machines for $310.87. Verizon Wireless for wireless cards, $240.06. Butler Disposal for trash and recycling for all stations, $262.92. Village Ace Hardware for maintenance supplies, $731.30. Verizon Internet, $318.85. M&T credit cards, $3,312.15 for miscellaneous items. Lysander Fire Department for their banquet, $1,786. Granger for cleaning tools, $92.20. Duval for the annual SCBA inspection and maintenance, $5,957.28. FDM for our non-VFBL and VFBL policies, $66,162. Nobles Tire for repairs to one of the chief's vehicles, $255.84. Upstate Emergency Medicine for our EMS advisor fee, $3,500. M. Walker for the annual sprinkler inspections, $4,860. MES for PPE masks, $250. Suburban Propane, $1,380.15. Hypertech for the annual inspection of the Ansel system, $115. Doyle for the door system monitoring, $1,545.50. Jerome Equipment for miscellaneous repairs, $1,486.97. Mobile Health, $166. BFD firefighting, or Baldwin Fire Department for their inspection dinner, $7,000. Onondaga County Volunteer Firemen's Association dues, $20. Jam Landscaping for contract payment, $2,174.25. Baldwinsville Central School District for fuel, $1,578.17. Spectrum for internet and cable and phones, $624.68. National Grid, $3,977.38. And Penske Law Firm for the two newest commissioners to attend their commissioner training, $530, for a total of $108,472.96. Do we have any questions? Sir.
No question, but we need to add Tony to that commissioner's training for Penske. And everybody is $265 per attendee.
I just did it for next one. Let's throw that in next month's bills.
I'm good.
I just have a question on the sprinkler inspection. I know it's been a long time since I've had anything to do with sprinkler inspections, but I used to do it at the hospital. Can I just get a copy of that bill to see what it entails? Other than that, I have no problem with it.
I'll make a motion to pay vouchers 1 through 26 and 34.
I'll second that.
Ted?
Got the roll call, so.
Mhm.
Take.
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
No. Roll call.
Do not have any communications. Commissioners report, administration, the only thing that we were going to discuss was mask usage in the fire stations. The board has talked about it, and if we're all in agreement, which I believe we are going to go back to mask usage optional for those that are vaccinated, but continued usage for those that are unvaccinated.
Correct.
We're all in agreement? Okay. I will send out that notification, or Chris can, tomorrow.
Yeah, effective right now.
Yep.
And for the record, I did run it by Hopper, just to, that's my conscience, we're in agreement, so.
So we can take this down.
If you want.
Totally up to you.
I would like to be.
I will say that we will be enforcing, if you're vaccinated, no problem. If you're not vaccinated, you will be wearing a mask in our property, and we will be enforcing that. Any questions, by all means, see me.
How are you gonna know if they are lying or not?
Al?
I'll be honest about it, lying or not, because we've had that.
I think it's the same thing. Produce the card, or produce proof, or you put it on, or you leave the station.
You might wanna add that they need to be carrying something that shows that they are. I mean, they can catch it on the phone or whatever else.
But
Right now,
what-
I got it on my phone. so.
What we shouldn't wanna do is, we wanna avoid confrontation, but if we can't, bottom line, chief, we will be enforcing it if we're gonna do the right thing here.
I'll make sure it's spelled out in the.
Yeah, it just needs to be spelled out this way here, we're not picking on people. Because we can tell them, you gotta put your mask on, and then they go outside. It's my understanding, if you have that, it's for the entire property. Going outside doesn't change it,
Right.
unless you're just making it for indoors.
Yeah, we'll spell it out pretty clear, chief.
So, this way here,
We wanna do what we can to assist to
Yeah.
enforce things. We don't wanna make it complicated.
Financial, I have nothing to update. Truck maintenance?
Yeah, I do. I filled out an RTP, RTP 2108. That is gonna be for the annual PMs on our big equipment. That's with our contractual thing with Jerome's. Again, 2108, it's gonna be for the New York State inspection PM for truck 1, engine 41, engine 31, RP3, engine 11, engine 21, and truck 1. That's the first thing. I have started, or will be starting some of the projects, chief, that were budgeted for 2022. For an example, I have squad 4 going in to get a new bumper built. That was budgeted. I have some work being completed on truck 1 at some point in the next couple months that was budgeted. There'll be obviously advanced notifications as much as I can. So engine 41 and squad 4 are both going out for service on Monday. It's been cleared with your deputy, and I passed that word on. They're gonna move 31 over temporarily here. Squad 4, hopefully just a couple days. Engine 41, they got the PM in, they have a leak that runs between the tank and the pump. So I'm banking on that for probably 3-4 days, give or take. But PMs will start probably 1 a week in the next couple of weeks, but again, that'll be all communicated to you guys, so.
So Monday the 14th, or whatever, what's the date for the 14th?
What is what did,
14th.
14th.
yeah. What did I send out a wrong date?
Going
Yeah,
out
usually
on
the
the
7th,
7th.
which
You
is like
said-
that day.
You sent it on the 7th and said it was going on the 7th.
That's why Sean was questioning me. I'm like, why is he questioning me? Oh, wow, this is clear. No, I'm sorry, it's the 14th, chief, both of them. Just saying thanks, and I owe Sean Martin an apology. But yeah, so we're moving. What I'm gonna start to do is, as we get ERTs from the people, I'm having the service center reference ERT number along with however we're paying them. So for an example, on a next invoice, it might show, in reference to ER 1234. ER helps me, so it doesn't really mean a whole lot to you, but you'll still have your RTP and all that jazz. It just is a little bit more information for me.
Okay.
So, if there's any questions, let me know. Oh, by the way, I finally got the M, you call it, the M is at Nobles right now, getting an inspection. And the only thing they called me today on, they said they're gonna lube and grease up that emergency cable, get that working as much as they can to pass inspection. And then I got a brake line or two to be replaced. It's very minimal, so I'm just, when the number comes back, I'll let you guys know, but it makes sense. They're using it and they're using it wisely. Let's do that. That's a good vehicle. We're doing the right thing. That's it for maintenance, unless you guys got anything.
Wayne got us those fuel can holders. I know they're up in the officers' rooms, and I've heard from a couple officers that they're questioning whether they should be mounting anything on anything. So can we send those with the truck? I would assume we don't want anyone.
No, I'd rather not drill a drill bed into a 1,500 gallon or 1,000 gallon tank. I'd rather not do that.
So when
Yeah.
when those go up for PMs.
Yeah, no problem. It only take an extra second.
Yeah.
So.
And with that, I was gonna throw it on later, but if you're talking about 41, with the lettering, if anyone hasn't noticed, they couldn't squeeze the 4-in-1 between ENG and INE on the engine out here. So instead of overlapping or making it look bad, they wanna just redo that. They printed them today, they'd like to come on Friday, at 1 o'clock. It'll take them, he said, less than an hour. So I'll get a hold of, I just found this out, a couple hours ago, so I'll get a hold of Deputy Chief D and make sure he's on board with it, so. No additional cost, anything like that, that was a miss on their part, so. So I'm glad it didn't go out on Monday.
I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry about that. That's it for me.
Alright, building and grounds, Jeff?
I see the request for additional.
Yeah, Station 1 just requested an additional recycling fuel.
Is it additional or is it just a bigger one?
Well, they don't have a bigger one, so Butler said it's $10 for another can.
Gotcha.
Or it's $43 for a 2-yard recycling dumpster, and Josh said they don't need that. Just need another
We
can.
need to go along with that, sick of picking cardboard out of the neighbor's
That's fine.
yard over there too, because they crammed the other one too full. And then the wind blows and there's cardboard all over.
Do you think just an additional tote was
Well,
fine?
either that, just don't put all of it out the same, put a little out, whatever.
We just want approval on that.
Station 3, the second gear room, kind of what your plans of doing with that room. Just kind of throwing it out there. I've had the request from the captain there that wants to put one set of gear racks up along one wall. It still won't hinder if we decide to close the room off halfway, but I don't know what your thought, because also was asked Station 4 if they could have the extra gear racks. Not all, they won't all fit in there, but a couple sets of them. I don't know what your pleasure.
Well, did we get an influx of manpower?
Station 3 we did.
Station 3, he's kind of running out of room because he uses one set for the ice water suits. And he wants to be able to have a couple extra before he runs out of room, or what we decide to do with the room. So it's kind of like one of those.
But
Question,
it offers
Go ahead.
that we were going to split it in half,
Yes.
move you out of
Yes.
there, out of the bunk room, and put you in half of that
That was
room.
kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to start doing that or get to that point or? I'd hate to be all of a sudden we get bunked in.
Are you, do you have the time to do it?
Well, I can look at it a little at a time. It's not something, it's not really a big deal, just put.
Yeah, it's putting up the wall
And then
and
put a door
and
in.
door in, yep.
But- Because I also thought too, down the road, that room, if we get an influx of people 3 years from now, we can still make it a bunk or a gear room.
Mhm.
So we move the stainless table out and the plating cabinet or whatever. It still uses a, just gonna be a little smaller, but we can still use it as a gear room.
Chief, do you know if that stuff they got hanging, the dive stuff? Seems to me that shouldn't be out on a rack anyway, it ought to be maybe in something enclosed. We thought about that, you know?
Twofold. One, when we used to have it in the trailer, was always hung. Because if it is folded and put away and it's still wet, it's just gonna cause problems. So even the yellow suits, technically, should be out of the bags when we're not using them and hanging, as opposed to being rolled up, because they can cause some problems. So I can see their point to wanting to have more gear racks that also, if we start moving personnel around with the new policy that was put forth by, approved by you and now being enforced, we're gonna have people going to hang out at the station. Instead of leaving their gear on the floor, they can put it into a rack. Otherwise, they have nowhere to put it.
Makes sense.
So,
Well, the only thing that I'm gonna say that is gonna be unpopular, I do not want to waste gear racks for people that don't have gear.
I believe that's already starting to be addressed as their gear is taken, their nameplate is removed. So,
Say that again, what, did I miss what you said, what did you say?
I don't want to waste a gear rack with someone that doesn't have gear.
Ah, I did not take it the way that you just said it, now I got what you said. Got it. I totally did not take what you said that way.
when we were less people,
Yeah,
we were given personnel that were going to this station
yeah,
an area to hang their clothing when they came in, not necessarily their gear. That had to be rethought.
okay, got you. Okay, now I get what you mean. I got it.
But yes, just, there's no problem if you wanna start.
Okay, the extra
Working
gears
on
for
it.
Station 4 is okay, the extra rack?
I guess it depends how many are up there and how many do they, like,
I
just,
talked to Sean, and I'm gonna start out with 10. He says 10 would be fine right now. They don't have a lot of room in that room to put
okay.
a lot. So if I did 10, one on each wall, or, I gotta measure it out, but I think 10, he said. I think I could put another smaller set on. Because the way the racks are set up, you can either do 2 or 5. The way, I would have to get different components if we go get.
Jeff, are you putting new racks in their gear room?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay.
The extra that we have at Station.
Yeah.
So, but they won't have a lot of room for a lot of it, so. But I would start out with 10, it would probably be pretty close for them.
Definitely be a lot better than what they have
It'd be a
now,
lot
so.
better than what they have. Yes, I will start with that. I'd also like to start getting bids for Station 2 painting. Start putting that out there, because when I met with one of the contractors last year, he did put a quote in for it, but it's over 20,000, so we're gonna have to bid it. He said he would like to do it in the wintertime, but gave us a good price to do it in the winter, but I told him I'd have to bid it. I
Yeah.
can't just give it to him, so I got permission to go ahead and start. All the prep work, cleaning is all gonna be done by them.
Yes.
I figured if we hire somebody to prep it and it's not right, then they're gonna let them worry about the prep work and do what they need to do. And the only rooms I was doing the apparatus floor, the apparatus bay, the wall ceiling, and the radio room. They asked me if they could get the radio room painted. All the other stuff is pretty good up there. And doors, door frames, and doors interior. That's pretty much where I was gonna leave it at. Mice problem at Station 3, do you want me to get a hold of that same company? They were at Station 4 today, they started there today.
have him go there. I think it came in chest freezer, I think he has it.
You brought Mickey with you?
Yeah.
Mickey and Stuart.
Update, the station 2 boiler seems to be working okay, he hasn't quit on us yet. He found a small pinhole in the heat exchanger, and that's what was making it, so he plugged it just to get it spied, so. He was gonna try to get some warranty on that, because if we change that, that'd be the third boiler we put in that building out there, if we change that again. So, that's all I have.
Before we move on, I will make a motion to go ahead and purchase the other, additional recycling tote for Station 1.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Wait,
Just the RTPs that were brought up at the workshop, and then the one additional one that I had was for the Rhino tablet for the new engine. It is $4,622.94 for the new Rhino tablet. It's an upgraded model from what we have. It's an M2 series. The ones that we currently have are an M1 series, and they're discontinuing them. They will still take care of any issues with the M1, it's just they're phasing out of them and going the M2. There's a few added features to it, but it basically functions the same.
Chris, this tablet would come out of the truck budget.
Yep, we have 6,500 in the budget for the Rhino tablet.
I would be willing to make a motion for RTP 2104, 2105, 2106, and 2107 for 97, 95, 29. And making sure, Joanne, that the 4622.94 comes out of that truck budget line for a total of 9,795.29. That's my motion.
Second.
Ed?
Aye.
Tony?
Yes.
Becky?
yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
Chris?
So, we'll start with the longer one. Security cameras. Everyone got the spreadsheet I sent out?
Yes.
Yep.
I did.
So, let me get myself. So I got quotes back from 3 different vendors. Alarm Services of Central New York, Installations Unlimited, and Doyle Security. This is for Station 1 and Station 2. Doyle, for whatever reason, only quoted, Station 1, did not quote Station 2. I did reach out and I didn't get anything back on it. My recommendation is to go with Installations Unlimited based on the package that they quoted. They actually exceed the coverage that we requested, where they can actually get the dumpster and straight over to the pole barn, which was something we would like, but it wasn't a deal breaker at the end of the day. They also include programming and training in the cost, where Alarm Services has an extra fee for that. And by programming, I mean they can go in there and say certain cameras we want to be recording 24/7. They can do that, and other ones that are lighter traffic can record on motion only, where it'll help save a lot of storage space, and it actually reduced cost a little bit compared to what he gave me that we talked about at the workshop. So they also have the shortest lead time for installation, with an order they can be installing in 3 to 4 weeks. Anyone have any questions on the proposals?
It was budgeted, so.
Yep, yeah, our budget was 26,000, installations unlimited came in at 19,375.08 for both stations. And Alarm Services came in just slightly under at $18,835. I would like to, if no one has any additional questions. Becky, I know you're reading, so.
Installations has a training too, so
Or do we have
that's nice.
something to use?
I have,
Okay,
I have monitors,
Okay.
so that wasn't a required thing,
okay.
so.
Yeah, no
Sorry,
questions?
what was that?
They have the training with it, so that's nice.
And they'll do full setup on the app, any computers that we
Yeah.
want it set up on. So it just, they seem to have the better,
Yeah.
fuller service. I also like too that they're not mounting the cameras flat up against the building like they did on Station 3. They'll actually have like a little bracket where they hang, so they get a better image where some of the ones on Station 3, the picture's kind of diagonal, kind of crooked. So, as well as they just seem to have a little bit better equipment they're quoting. They were the preferred installer from the actual manufacturer as well, so. If no one's got any additional questions, I'd like to make a motion to proceed with the Station 1 and Station 2 camera installation with Installations Unlimited for a total of $19,375.08.
Second that.
Ed,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
So I also have two additional, I didn't see them on here, I had a couple RTVs at the, I had it at the workshop though. There was the, oh, never mind, sorry, that's right there, okay. Didn't even see it. So additional requests, we're almost out of key fobs. I have 7 left up there. And 2 of them are probably not something I wanna hand back out again, they're kind of worn out. So I got quotes from Doyle and Alarm Services, who both support Cary. And as you see, the total of $450, Alarm Services came in cheaper at $350. So I'd like to get 50, they come in packs of 50 and 100, so 50 is the smallest quantity. 50 key fobs at a cost of $350. As well as 4 sets of computer speakers, $12 each for a total of $48. And the background of the computer speakers is a lot of our members like to do their annual training at the station. Station 3 speaker is very shoddy, cuts in and out. Station 1's is pretty old as well. Station 4 had a set, then the other day when I was there, it was gone, and now it's back. So,
That doesn't happen very often.
nope, I'm assuming somebody probably used them on a different computer
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
The computer in the line office doesn't have speakers, so, Sean possibly could have brought them in there.
Yep.
But, with that said, I'd like to be able to have the speakers on the guys' computers so they can actually listen along with the annual training.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to purchase the key fobs and the computer speakers for a total of $398.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Yeah.
We also have a resolution to surplus some of the old IT equipment. Resolution 2220. Whereas pursuant to section 17623 of the town law, the Northwest Fire District, located in the towns of Lysander and Van Buren, Onondaga County, state of New York, does hereby declare that it has multiple equipment that is no longer necessary for the use and purpose of the Northwest Fire District. It does hereby declare the following list of equipment, apparatus, or personal equipment is no longer necessary for the use and purpose of the Northwest Fire District, and the estimated value is less than $20,000. See attached list. This is the attached list. There are 9 monitors, 6 computer towers, 3 laptops, 3 printers, an old router, a couple of bad surge protectors, a camera, a broken cell phone, 2 old routers, 3 old routers, 4 old routers, and a digital projector that is no longer usable.
Becky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Boy, that's gonna free up a lot of space for me.
Mhm.
Alright, anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Albert, safety report.
Hi, just want to report out, no injuries or illnesses have been reported since our last meeting. No COVID-19 cases in progress that I'm aware of. The positivity rate is immensely improved, 10%, less than 10% statewide, in our area roughly 4.3%. So that's come down quite a ways. I just caution people, don't get lulled into thinking it's the end of it, because who knows? Enjoy while you can and make sure you're practicing all the other parts of, protecting yourself when you're out and about. SCBA cylinder inspections. We went through and did an annual on our own of the cylinders only to gain more information and verify numbers in sequence. That's been completed. I want to thank the captains for that. They did a good job in getting their crews mobilized and did it in a day when I gave them. I figured it'd take them a couple days. So I want to thank them when I see them. That's basically it. Seasons change coming up, of course, still cold, still icy. Be careful. I've had opportunities that you see around the stations and see what some of the conditions are. We gotta keep after the ice and snow removal. I know Jeff does the best he can do. He's just one person, but the firefighters at the stations, if they're able to do so, can certainly help out too. So keep that hazard to a minimum. And that is, trips, falls, and slips are one of the major injuries, causers in industry and at home. So let's not have to deal with it here. Does anybody have anything for me this month? This meeting?
Just one correction, there is one COVID.
Okay, I'll see you after. Thank you. Anything else?
Thanks, Bill.
End of brief, thank you.
Thank you. Chief's comments and reports. Chief DeFlorio.
Unfortunately, we've been getting very busy and not able to have had a chiefs meeting that we wanted to do last Friday because we seem to be getting called more and more to mutual aid calls on a regular basis for structure fires. Today is evident of that before our funeral, that we had one in Belgium, so. And we're being told that we're gonna be going a little bit more to Cayuga County to assist Jordan, so. We seem to be popular. However, I haven't had an opportunity to sit down with the other chiefs for this year yet. We'll be doing it on the 11th, hopefully. And so what I did was, I brought this, which is a copy of the mileage that the chiefs did for 2021. There's one copy for everybody. The other thing too is I want to say at the meeting that the 2 captains that will be filling in for DC1 when the chiefs are out of the area will be Captain Josh Cantello and Captain Nick Catalino. For those that aren't aware, BC1 basically will fill in when we have less than the amount of chiefs that I feel that we need to do our business in a proper manner. And then we bring one of the captains up and take one of our vehicles and respond as BC1 so as not to confuse 911 center, that it's a different vehicle other than the ones that are normally out there, car 1 through 5. I'm happy to hear that we're looking to move Jeff out of that bunk room because we are going to try our best this year, put our best effort in to see about a bunking program to be here. And it would be nice if we have both bunk-in rooms available, because if people want to come and take a look at what we have to offer. However, we're not going to do that until we can show that we have a program that is well-tuned, as we've seen in some of the departments, and not just a fly-by-night. So we don't really have a lot to offer people, as far as things that we could do. And I use that example for Onondaga Hill, where they would get them a job, they would have the housing for them, we're not gonna have anything like that. But we could have at least 2 people, and they might be local, or they can be from other parts of New York State, for that matter, if they're coming up to OCC for the program. But we wanna make sure that we have an excellent program. So that will be given to you as far as what we come up with. We would hope that you give us as much input as you can to it, and before we put it in place. But I would like to have those 2 bunk rooms, so it's available, so that we can show people and get that out there. So, and Commissioner McIntyre is the one that actually pushed for this last year, but last year we weren't ready. This year we're gonna be ready, so.
I want to echo and comment on that, because I believe it's necessary and it's staffing, and I will say, I don't want to put it in place till it's done and done right. You know, I definitely don't want it half-assed, absolutely.
You 5 are in line to do that,
So,
okay?
just
We'll just.
100%, you got my support.
Beat us up, throw us out, whatever you wanna do, but that's
Yep.
gonna be on your shoulders as well.
You got 100% support from
The other thing that we have is we took out, and this, people may not notice, but the Avon boat was just taken out of service today. The Avon boat was a 30-plus-year-old raft, more or less, that we would put on the water or on the ice to help someone. It served us well when we did get to use it, but it is time to retire it. It's been placed outside of Wayne's room over at Station 3. And the rapid deployment craft, which was brought up at the workshop, is in service. It's going to be handled by RP3 and be brought to the scene anytime it's needed. So that Avon boat now comes to you as to what you want to do with it.
Well, it's unsafe, correct?
As far as I'm concerned,
It's unsafe,
it's
correct?
unsafe for us to use it.
So we need
in
to
the
decommission it
process.
and determine its surplus. It needs to go, it's 30 years old, it needs to go away.
Yes, so.
Could use it in somebody's pool.
Correct.
As long as they have a, you know, a bottle to, inflate it with.
I remember when we bought it 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think you were a junior or something. or-
No, I got 35 years fireman, mister.
Well, you're only 5 years older than you. Anyway, anyway, that is out of service. It's been taken off Squad 3. It's no longer on there. Don't expect it to go anywhere. But it's up to you as to what you want to do with it. Maybe one of the members might want it for old time's sake. Maybe they want to just go out on the water with it. It can still be inflated. It has to be inflated with a lot of air, at least 1 tank and such, same as the rapid deployment craft as well. But someone might like it. If you can sell it, fine. If you can give it away, but once again, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. Belongs to you, not us.
Surplus.
Surplus.
We could probably do that right now.
And while we're talking about useless things, we have some trailers perhaps that we can make money on and maybe put it toward purchasing something better. I'd like to put that out there for you to look at, that those trailers that are just sitting there and sporadically, if they're used at all, perhaps we could purchase something that is more useful for us. So I'll just throw that out there. I know I was told I should do that in an email. I'd rather say it to someone and then you guys can hit back at me, but emails really don't get along too well, or text messages. Tonight, we did have, as was mentioned, Rob Vandenberg, Chief Emeritus, has decided to go into another job up north, way up north, and basically move on. So unfortunately, for us, we've lost him. So tomorrow, I believe they're having something here. We were all done tonight. I'm gonna be here cleaning this room, so it's acceptable for the people to come in here, because they have a reception here tomorrow as well. So, and we will be doing something with them in the morning at Florida, so. He was a good man, did us well, 70 years. We lost 2 over the last 2 years, actually a year and a few days apart. So, hopefully we don't lose any more just yet. Other than that, we're moving along good. Our guys are doing a hell of a job as far as responding, whether it's to our calls or to mutual aid calls, and we are being called quite often to mutual aid calls. So right now, we're on standby for, not standby, but we're responding to any motor vehicle accidents for Lakeside while they're training up in Burlington. So I just got that phone call when I got here. Somebody told them I was napping or something like that when I called the first time. Anyway, we've got other things that we're going to ask that we can work with the commissioners to get accomplished. One thing is the new engine 21, hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so. All right. We've had 61 calls, and our young secretary over there, which I forgot her name at the moment, has always done for us on a monthly basis.
Look straight ahead. Let me tell you something, pal, it gets worse.
Vegan. Yeah.
Thanks.
I do that to my wife every morning when I wake up. Who you? Anyway, but we have had members, as far as average response for all calls, I'm not gonna go station by station, but 12.73 members per call. We are attempting, as was brought up at the workshop, and we will continue to do, is come up with another plan as far as how we can get more personnel to be standing by on a daily basis. Try as we will. We were able to put 3 engines on the road for today for the call in Phoenix, or not Phoenix, in Belgium. So, but we're not always that good. Sometimes, like tomorrow, trying to do a funeral, or a school calling us up, hey, can you come over with an engine? If we get a call, I can't show up, and I don't want to disappoint you, so. We try to do the best we can, and we are doing the best we can, so. Moving on, thank you.
I just have a question, or more in form of a comment that I would like to have your chief discuss. And the question is, you know, how prudent is it to put all of our water in the farthest end of the district? I just
Put
kind of,
all of our water on the forest end
Yeah.
of the district? Well, what are you talking about?
engine 41 and the tanker. And the response out there isn't great.
We're
And I think we've been discussing it.
we're always hopeful that it's gonna improve because they've gotten some young members recently. We know that we can get the tanker out with our own personnel going there to get it. We are going to Granby, we are going to Kenneville, and generally what they're looking for is large volume of water as well, as manpower. Putting it back out there is going to accomplish a couple of things. One, if the tanker can't go for whatever reason, 2,000 gallons that are gonna be in engine 41 will be able to handle. They can also come back this way as well. Even if they just have to drive it, that vehicle can come back this way. I can't leave it void out there. Thought about perhaps maybe putting 21 out there, but unfortunately, the new 21 wouldn't fit. The old 21 wouldn't really fit. Actually, the only one that's gonna fit back there is engine
We've got a-
11 here.
We've got a length issue you're dealing
Yes,
with,
we
that's
do.
why that truck was built so high,
Right,
was the
so
length.
basically, we thought about it, we thought about even putting, as foolish as it may sound, but it is an engine as well as a ladder, engine 31 out there, but it just isn't gonna fit. So by at least giving them the means and hoping that they will start to get more personnel responding, which, how many people did you get, Jack, within the last 2 months or so?
2.
You got 2.
One we lost for what, 2 months? But he went on, he got called up in reserves.
The last few calls we've had, we did get something out of there, so it's showing some improvement.
Okay.
So granted, I would totally agree, if, you know, we needed 2,000 gallons of water to go out to the kingdom or whatever else, but we've got some good mutual aid coming in as well. And, you know, it's not that we're void and have to worry about it too much. And they have been without anything for at least the better part of 6 months to 7 months out that way. So, if we were to find, putting it out there, that it is not meeting the intent to come back or helping us out, we'll rethink that.
Okay.
I know Jack has mentioned that they would like a mini pumper.
Jack, I don't know about them.
You're not gonna fit, but anyway. Now, the idea is that, the hope is that we are going to see movement on that. The backup to that is we will send a squad out there to man that. And they've known that already, and I told them that in the meeting, that we can't get you personnel because they're not living in your area, but we can send a squad to go out there to man whatever is not moving. And we have done that on a couple of occasions already. The other night when we went to Granby, we had 2 engines on the road, and then we had a chief hit a flat tire. Did you get that fixed?
It's already in and out the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
For now.
Bring it back anytime you want.
Alright, thank you. We have one resignation from Baldwinsville, Jaden Nana, who was a Ram, and then we have one change of status. Anthony Ferguson, who was a Ram, is moving up to a full member. And then old business, the I Am Responding renewal.
I don't have anything new to update on that yet. I have a call with Kelsey, I think it's either this Thursday or next Thursday,
Okay.
so.
Chris, we're not gonna have an interruption to service, are we?
No,
Okay.
no. It
The
does-
renewal goes until April, so.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
We're okay.
All right, okay.
So can you just move it back to the workshop, so we don't forget?
I'll have the totals for the workshop. She was looking into it would be saving $620 by removing it from being quote unquote a 2-department. I Am Responding, and by that, neither departments lose anything, it's just that they're not dispatching by 2 departments. That was the big thing, because it was dispatching by Baldwinsville and dispatching by Lysander when we signed it last. Now it's just under 1, so all the functionality stays the same for everything else, though. But she was looking in to make sure, nothing else on the backside would change.
Any new business that anyone has? Alright, station usage is mentioned, station 1 is gonna be used tomorrow, February 9th, for a reception after the funeral for Chief Vandenberg. And then any comments from the public?
Question. Because the term vaccinated, what is your definition of vaccinated?
I guess for our standard, the 2 doses,
You're not requiring people to be boosted at this time?
we haven't.
Okay. That's it?
Okay.
Is there any more update on the phones for Station 4 at all?
Working on it, it's just getting equipment right now. The equipment's on order. I talked to him, or I sent an email over to John earlier today, asking him for an update on the order, and he sent me back that he'll have it for me tomorrow. So,
Is there any discussion on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring something up. Chris, I gotta say this. I think what's happening with the phone out there, if it's not within our control and we're paying people, this is unacceptable.
So
Unacceptable.
I don't think you were at I think that was the one you went on the call.
Okay.
The problem is the actual phone controller that's here.
What does
It's a
that mean?
PBX router, so
Okay.
it's, because it's a voice over, internet phone system, the actual router that's up there for it is fried. It's junk.
So, out there, here,
Here, all the phones are connected.
okay?
They're all connected, it all routes through here. It's fried, it's $3,000 to replace it, and it's the older, outdated system that worked with that older setup that we had. So, I have Advanced IT, who we were planning on transitioning to for the phone system, finishing it right now. I told them that even if they can't get all the phones in, like all 19 of them that have to come in, if they get 4 of them in, 5 of them, whatever, that Station 4 is priority in the district office, and then each of the radio rooms, and then the other locations that are specified. So, it's moving, it's just the whole
I just want,
issue with, getting certain things right now. I tried calling Spectrum a couple different times on getting them to change over if we can get actual landline, The building is not wired for it. The phone connections are RJ45, which is Ethernet,
Okay.
not phone line. So you can't plug it in. They would have to come in and wire it, or we would have to pay somebody to wire it. It's just,
It just drives me. Hold on.
Station 4 has all the landline wiring in it.
not upstairs.
Yes, sir.
It's Ethernet cables, not.
Ethernet is the one with the fat phone cord, right? Is that what that means?
Wider, yes. It's wider
The
versus
printer
the small.
upstairs in the district office has a phone line, because we used to receive faxes on it. And in fact, when the other phone people were there, we had them hook up 2 other lines. The guy just went in, there's a whole panel there, and he said, well, this one goes over there, so they have a landline in the lounge, not the lounge area, but the hall, because they were using a credit card for the auctions, and it stopped working, because somebody disconnected something. So that got hooked up. I'm not saying it's for the auction now, because we won't have it, but there's landlines all over there, and the board is right there, and they're all labeled. So I don't know where you're coming with this internet. Yes, there's internet through the whole building, but I can take a regular phone and plug it in 15 different places at Station 4. I could bring Frontier in there tomorrow, and they would be able to hook in there, because it's all there, and just hook it up and turn it on. I bet you could have a landline in there.
This may come across as a dumb question. What if, hypothetically speaking, we took a phone that you buy at Walmart and plug it in, again, I don't know the terminology, and plug it into a phone box on the wall?
You would have to get a provider to turn on a phone system and connect it to the landlines in order for that to happen. There is no landlines connected up there except for the one fax line that is still there, or sorry, the fire alarm line that's still there. So in order to do that, we would have to add equipment. I don't know what's still in there. Spectrum came out and told me they can't. If we want, I don't know, Frontier, if we wanna call Frontier and get somebody out there, guaranteed they're gonna make me sign a contract saying it has to stay for a certain amount of
So,
time.
what's your best estimate? Not, again, this is nothing that Chris Courier did wrong.
They
I'm just-
said the end of February is their target for full completion.
I want a
So-
phone line out there, Chris. I want a phone line out there yesterday. Not because any other reason, we should have a phone line out there. And whatever we need to do to make that happen, we should do that.
And I also was talking with AT&T, and I plan to try to get a hold of Verizon Wireless. AT&T is gonna put a repeater out there for us, so
That'll help.
AT&T's service will be better. They're looking into exactly what they can do, and I'm gonna wait for their offer. They may actually even pay us and have one on property somewhere, and it would actually improve service for the entire hamlet.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna call Verizon and talk to them as well. With some of their new rollouts, I don't know how quick that would be. It wouldn't be anything short term, that'd be long term, but it would help cell coverage up in that area as well. So, but I'm pushing, it's just getting the
I
equipment.
just have a hard time believing we couldn't do something in the interim since November. My wife works out there.
Jack.
No, let me finish, please. My wife works out there. We have one car. When she goes to work, if there's something wrong at my home, I cannot call her. She cannot call me if she sprains her ankle and is laying on the floor, because the phone system ain't working. You know what I got told a while back? Well, just go use the fire phone. You don't know how to use a fire radio. I guess you could just scream it out the back window.
So,
I'm sorry, it's bothering me. It's been since November. That's unacceptable. What if you had a truck out of service for 7 months? What would you be doing right now?
Are you talking to Tony?
Yeah, and I'm talking to him.
Well, I'm just saying, the thing of it is that we have had a truck out of service for a number of months. Engine 5, which was out your way, or 41, broke down. And we had to go through the process of ordering a new one, having it built, and now it's coming next week. So yeah, it takes a long time, but we were able to have mutual aid or whatever help us if we needed to. Unfortunately, there is no mutual aid for a phone system, I believe. I don't know. I know that that house, your station, was actually built with phones when you were a Red Cross, and you still are, I believe,
Yes, we are.
an area that we could have people go to if there was a storm of some sort, or they were at a home. They had a reception center there for the Red Cross, and you had phone lines going in there. Having worked for emergency management, that's where we would go if there was an issue out in Lysander. So whatever happened to all those phone hookups, who they were hooked up to, I have no idea.
Frontier Communications, I can tell you who they're hooked up to. I set it up when they built the building. I can take you in the room and show you the terminal, unless somebody took the terminal out of there and took it down the street, I don't know. But it was there.
That's the stuff that I don't understand.
Hold on. I can go up there right now. I do not have Verizon, so the Verizon repeater that's in the building does not do frickin' shit for me. I can go up there right now with AT&T, walk in that building, connect to the Wi-Fi that is phenomenal now up there, and call anybody I want. I could walk up there and call Tony right now. Okay, so there is ways to do it. It's called Wi-Fi calling, and it's in your settings on your phone. I don't know what kind of phone you have. If it's a flip phone, then probably not. But there's ways to do it. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get it in there. The system that was put in 3 years ago, I guess 4 years ago now, was significantly outdated, and they ripped a bunch of crap out when they did it. Because they put that fiber over coax system in, they ripped a ton of stuff out of it. We had to deal with it at Station 2 on why they ripped a ton of the Verizon stuff out. Do you guys remember when there was a fiber optic line running through the yard at Station 2?
Yeah.
Okay, that was because Spectrum came in there, Spectrum Enterprise, and they ripped a bunch of crap out, including Verizon's Fios line. There was issues with Spectrum and how they handled this stuff, and it screwed up our infrastructure related to the utilities being connected. So, the switchboard that was in there does not work. Before I even became a commissioner, the phones that are on the building that you were complaining about for so long, go in Station 5 and look in the back of where that phone is connected, or where it's mounted. That line got cut, spliced together, and pushed up to what the Doyle fire alarm system was. So stuff is not where it was 40 years ago where you're thinking it is. It's different. It's not the same.
When did the fax machine stop working?
I don't know.
There was a line there for the fax machine after you became a commissioner. So there was a landline there. I can prove you there was a landline there because ITS kept the one landline for 2 reasons. One, for faxing, and the other reason was the only way we could control and send into fire control at the time. Because our calls didn't go, our calls from Station 4 and Station 5 went to fire control until 3 years ago when we stopped, they stopped it. Fire control doesn't take emergency calls. Never mind, forget it. You're missing the point. You keep saying you're trying, and I'm trying to behave, and I'm trying to understand, but I can't understand how you can let a station go without a phone line for
It's not
5
a
or 6
station,
months.
it's the entire district.
The entire district.
Okay, and I'm-
She can't get calls. She can't get calls from vendors. She can't call vendors. She can now because she happens to be at home. But if she was there, she couldn't receive people. And in fact, there's been 3 calls or 2 calls placed to fire control to ask for tables and chairs because they can't call us. Am I correct? Yes. I was told that the other day.
I don't have that. I mean, mine is fire operations.
The bottom line, so the way we're gonna handle this and move on is, I know factual, this is not, you are not heard, okay? If we could physically go out there and plug in a phone, which I don't get, because that's not my expertise, we would do it for you. Believe me, he would do it for you. Chris and I are gonna push harder. I will tell you, technologically and all the equipment, everything, if we could get it and put it in and fix it today, we would. this is not something that we're just, Jack, you're not hurt, that's not, believe me, it's, the stuff is on order, we're trying to get it here. The supply chain is terrible with anything,
7 hours.
and if we could fix it tomorrow, we would do that. We just, we don't know how to do it. We've got IT people, the old IT people, the new IT, not,
Forget it, just
I'm
forget
just
it,
saying, I'm just telling you.
just forget it. I'll go to the department and see if the department will pay one chair to put a line in to at least do.
Jack,
No,
please.
that's it. Bottom line, Tony, that's the end of that question. Red MX, is there any way we could get Red MX put in the computer in the offices in the boardroom so we could use it?
Which computer?
Either one of them. There's one that belongs to the department that we just bought for the treasurer and that I use and she uses. And then there's the one that, the captain has there, but I went in there, I was gonna try to use it, but
I gotta do the update on that one.
yeah, it's gotta be updated.
Yep.
And I put a laptop in there I was gonna use, but I don't think you can put the update in the laptop, so.
I can, any computer that's owned by the district or the department, we can put Red NMX on for you. I just,
Well, this is the department's laptop.
Can it handle
district or the department, yes.
Can the system handle it?
It doesn't take much for
Oh,
Red
okay.
NMX.
Yeah.
So, I can easily get that on there for you.
Thank you.
So,
One more thing. The old MDT,
Computer?
the old computers that were in the trucks, you got to call fire control, you can't just
they're not,
surplus
the
them.
county released them after,
Oh, did they?
there was.
Well, the last time I tried to get rid of them, I got told they're county property and don't get rid of them.
They had a period, similar to when they first put the radio system in for pagers and radios, where they purchased an X amount of equipment, and after a certain amount of time, that they were turned over to the departments. So, I did check, you mentioned that to me, I think sometime last year, and I
I don't even know where they all are.
I called, they're Station 5 on a rack behind stores. So, but I called the, emergency communications and cleared it with, forgot his name, Spraker?
Spraker.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, any other comments from the public? All right, then there was a request for an executive session for a personnel matter. There will not be any decision made, and then we will just come back out and close the meeting. So I'm going to make a motion to go into executive session at 8:32. Do I have a second?
Second.